While much of the world is still debating what the future of transportation should look like, China is already putting it into motion. These are not distant concepts or unfinished lab experiments. They are real systems being tested, deployed, and used today. From vehicles that move above traffic to trains that operate without traditional tracks, China is pushing mobility in directions few expected. What makes these developments so striking is how quickly they have moved from idea to reality. Technologies that once sounded like science fiction are now functioning in real environments, challenging long-held assumptions about how people and goods should move. As you explore what's already happening, you may realize the future of transportation is not coming someday. In many places, it has already arrived. Lingkong Tianxing hypersonic jet. Imagine crossing the distance between Beijing and New York in just 2 hours. What once sounded like pure science fiction is now being seriously pursued with China's Lingkong Tianxing project. Designed to fly at speeds approaching Mach 6, this aircraft would travel more than 6 times faster than today's commercial jets. What truly sets Tianxing apart is its propulsion system. Instead of a conventional jet engine, it relies on a rotating detonation engine, a breakthrough design that produces greater thrust while using less fuel. Managing the brutal heat of hypersonic flight is another major hurdle, with surface temperatures soaring beyond 1,000 degrees Celsius. Engineers address this through advanced ceramic composites and active thermal control systems that protect the airframe. If development stays on track, China expects this technology to move from testing to commercial operation around 2030, potentially redefining long-distance air travel. Chinese Hyperloop T-flight. The idea of the Hyperloop may have gained global attention through Elon Musk, but China is rapidly turning the concept into reality with its T-flight system. This next-generation transport uses magnetically levitated capsules traveling through low-pressure vacuum tubes at speeds approaching 1,000 kilometers per hour. Unlike many Hyperloop projects that remain theoretical, China has already built and tested operational track sections exceeding 2 kilometers in length. High-temperature magnetic levitation allows the pods to float without physical contact, virtually eliminating friction and enabling smooth, efficient acceleration. Operating in a near-vacuum environment also removes most external noise, creating an unusually quiet passenger experience despite the extreme speed. Planned commercial routes, including one in Shaanxi province, aim to connect major cities in under 30 minutes, cutting current multi-hour rail journeys down to a fraction of the time, and signaling a major shift in high-speed ground transportation. Straddling Bus 2.0. Traffic congestion has long been one of the hardest problems for cities to solve, and the Straddling Bus 2.0 takes a radically different approach by simply moving above it. This elevated electric bus is designed to span multiple lanes, allowing cars to continue driving underneath while the bus carries up to 1,200 passengers across the city. Early versions of the concept drew heavy criticism, but the updated design addresses those concerns with improved structural stability, advanced sensor and safety systems, and a modular body that can be adjusted to fit different road layouts. Instead of requiring costly tunnels or massive elevated rail systems, the straddling bus works with existing roads, relying only on side guidance rails and charging stations at stops. Test deployments in cities such as Qinhuangdao have shown measurable results, including significant reductions in congestion and faster commute times. What once sounded like science fiction is now emerging as a practical example of how unconventional thinking can unlock real solutions for urban transport. EHang 216. Flying taxis have efficiently moved from imagination to reality. The EHang 216 is a fully autonomous aerial vehicle designed to carry passengers without a pilot or traditional controls. Riders simply select a destination, and the aircraft handles the rest, from takeoff to landing. Powered entirely by electricity, it uses 16 rotors mounted on 8 arms, creating multiple layers of redundancy so the aircraft can remain stable even if a motor fails. This platform was engineered with safety as its core principle, not an afterthought. It carries 2 passengers at speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour with a flight time of around 35 minutes, more than enough to bypass gridlocked streets and shrink hour-long car commutes into brief aerial hops. What makes the EHang 216 truly remarkable is that it is already cleared for commercial operation in several Chinese cities, with active trials underway in places like Dubai, South Korea, and Spain. This is not a future concept or a test prototype. Urban air mobility is already in service, and its global expansion is only a matter of time. The XPeng AeroHT land aircraft carrier is not just a flying car, it is a complete personal mobility system built around a modular idea. Instead of forcing one vehicle to do everything, XPeng split the job into 2 parts, a powerful ground vehicle and a compact aircraft that work together seamlessly. The result is a system that lets you drive like normal, then fly when the road ends. At the center is the mothership, a large 6x6 electric SUV with extended range capability and serious off-road presence. It transports, stores, and recharges the aircraft in its rear compartment, functioning as both carrier and mobile launch platform. When it is time to fly, the aircraft detaches from the back of the vehicle in just a few minutes. The 2-seat eVTOL uses a lightweight carbon fiber body and 6 rotors, allowing it to lift off vertically with minimal space. Pilots can fly it using a simple joystick or let it operate autonomously for short-range trips. After landing, the aircraft returns to the mothership, where its batteries can be recharged on the move. XPeng's vision is to make switching between road and air feel natural, practical, and accessible, not experimental. With mass production targeted for 2026 and pre-orders already in place, this is a clear signal that personal air mobility is moving out of concept mode and into real-world use. Maritime travel is entering a new era, and the Haiyi hydrofoil passenger vessel sits at the center of that shift. This is not a conventional ferry cutting through the water, but an electric craft that lifts itself above the surface and rides on hydrofoils, giving the impression that it is flying just inches above the sea. Once it reaches cruising speed, specially designed underwater wings generate lift, raising the hull clear of the waves and dramatically reducing drag. By eliminating most of the contact with the water, resistance drops by roughly 80%, allowing the Haiyi to travel far faster than traditional ferries while using significantly less energy. The fully electric vessel can carry up to 150 passengers at speeds of around 50 kilometers per hour, all with 0 direct emissions. Even in rough conditions, the ride remains calm and stable because the hull no longer slams in the waves. Along China's coastline, routes are already being converted to this technology, cutting island-to-island travel times from hours to minutes. For nations defined by water, this is not just a faster ferry, it's a fundamental rethink of coastal transportation. This is where transportation begins to blur categories. The Airfish 8 may be classified as an aircraft, but it never truly leaves the surface. Instead, it skims just meters above the water by harnessing ground effect, creating a vehicle that sits somewhere between an airplane and a boat, yet behaves unlike either. Ground effect occurs when air becomes trapped and compressed between the wings and the water, forming a natural cushion that boosts lift while sharply reducing drag. This allows the Airfish 8 to achieve remarkable efficiency, outperforming both conventional aircraft and marine vessels. Developed through a collaboration between Chinese and Singaporean engineers, it carries 8 passengers at speeds of up to 180 kilometers per hour with a range of roughly 500 kilometers, all while using about 40% less fuel than a standard airplane on the same route. Its real advantage lies in where it can operate. The Airfish 8 is purpose-built for island chains and coastal corridors, requiring no runways or major ports. A simple shoreline ramp is enough. Regions such as the Maldives, the Philippines, and parts of the Caribbean are already assessing its potential. If adopted at scale, this ground effect craft could redefine how island communities connect and how coastal tourism moves people across the water. The Autonomous Rail Transit System, known simply as ART, is one of the most refined mobility concepts in operation today. At first glance, it looks like a modern tram, yet there are no tracks beneath it. Instead of steel rails, ART relies on high-precision optical sensors that read virtual lines painted on the road, allowing it to navigate with train-like accuracy. What makes this system truly disruptive is cost efficiency. Traditional metro construction can exceed $500 million per kilometer. ART delivers comparable capacity and performance at roughly a fifth of that expense, eliminating the need for tunnels, rails, or major structural work. Configured in up to 3 connected carriages, a single unit can carry as many as 500 passengers, matching light rail volumes on standard city streets. The system is fully electric and designed for rapid turnaround. At designated stations, ART vehicles fast charge to full capacity in about 10 minutes, providing up to 40 kilometers of operational range per charge. Already deployed in more than 30 Chinese cities, including Zhuzhou, where it was first developed, ART now serves as the core of daily public transit networks. It stands as a clear reminder that transformative transportation does not always require complexity. Sometimes the smartest solution is simply a better way of using what already exists. Public transportation is entering a driverless era, and the Baidu Apollo Robobus is already operating at its center. This fully autonomous bus removes every traditional control you would expect. No steering wheel, no pedals, no driver's seat. Instead, passengers are greeted by forward-facing seating and wide panoramic windows that turn the journey itself into a calm, predictable experience. Powered by Level 4 autonomy, the Apollo Robobus relies on a fusion of LiDAR, 360-degree cameras, and advanced artificial intelligence to handle real-world urban traffic. It reads traffic signals, detects pedestrians and cyclists, adjusts to changing weather, and navigates dense city streets with consistency that human drivers struggle to match. The system is always alert, never fatigued, and unaffected by distraction or emotion. Its track record speaks for itself. After more than 10 million kilometers of real-world operation, the safety performance has exceeded conventional public transport benchmarks, with virtually no serious incidents reported. Already deployed in major cities such as Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou, the Apollo Robobus arrives at dedicated stops based on optimized routing algorithms rather than fixed human schedules. This is not a test or a concept, it is a working model of autonomous urban mobility, and it is already reshaping how modern cities move people every day. The ARIDGE A868 represents China's next leap toward practical, high-speed personal air travel. Developed by ARIDGE, the aviation arm formerly known as XPeng AeroHT, this 6-seat flying car is designed as a true long-range eVTOL rather than a short-hop urban shuttle. It blends electric propulsion with a hybrid power system to deliver the endurance and performance needed for real intercity flight. Unlike multicopters limited to low speeds, the A868 uses a full tilt rotor configuration. Its rotors pivot upward for vertical takeoff and landing, then rotate forward for efficient cruise flight, removing any need for runways while achieving airplane-like efficiency. The result is an ambitious performance envelope targeting cruising speeds above 360 kilometers per hour and a range exceeding 500 kilometers, placing it in an entirely different class from most current eVTOL designs. Ease of use is central to the concept. A simplified one-stick control system and smart digital interface dramatically reduce pilot workload, making the aircraft far more accessible than traditional aviation platforms. Now deep into advanced flight testing, the A868 is being prepared for large-scale production at a dedicated smart manufacturing facility in Guangzhou, with mass production targeted for 2026. Positioned alongside ARIDGE's modular land aircraft carrier, the A868 is intended to anchor China's emerging low-altitude economy with a fast, runway-free solution for longer-distance airborne travel.